Democracy is impossible. What might sound like a bold statement is in fact a conclusion that follows from pure logic. And with logic, I mean mathematical logic. This is no clickbait, and it has been known for almost a century now. However, conveniently, most seem to ignore it. Let's assume that in an election, 3 or more voters have 3 or more choices. They can all rank these choices in order of their individual preference. So they can rank option 1 over option 2 over option 3, or any other way. They all do so fully and freely. Every one of them hands in his ranking. Now, there is no way for the aggregated ranking to simultaneously be in compliance with all 3 of these basic conditions. First, if every voter prefers option 1 over option 2, then the result favors option 1 over option 2. Second, this does not change when the order of preference regarding other options than option 1 or option 2 changes. And third, there is no dictator with the power to decide unilaterally. Okay, so these 3 conditions, which all seem very, very basic and fundamental for any democracy, cannot be fulfilled simultaneously? This is why. All voters themselves might have logical orders of preference, but if you put multiple preferences together, it is not guaranteed that a clear winner emerges. Instead, which preference wins over the other can be a question of procedure. What this means is that any election between 3 or more options with 3 or more voters can be skewed, whereas the chance for arbitrary or manipulated outcomes dramatically increases with the number of voters and options. To put it another way, only because individual rankings themselves make sense does not mean that these individual rankings can be translated into a collective ranking that makes sense. This is because the preferences of all voters can be distributed in such a way that no definite collective preference emerges. The outcome then becomes arbitrary and cannot comply with set basic conditions of democracy. If you want to fact-check this, look out for the Condorcet Paradox or Arrow's Impossibility Theorem. Condorcet came up with the problem, Arrow then later proved the impossibility of its solution. You could think now, alright, but this does not challenge democracy, does it? After all, we could restrict the number of options for each vote to less than 3. But that's wrong. We all as individuals have orders of preference regarding more than 2 options. It does not matter how the voting process is designed, because we have proof there is no voting process that will result in a fair aggregate of these individual preferences, of which there are more than 2. I leave you with that. Check it up. Deal with it. If you have any interesting conclusions, let me know in the comments.